Hello everyone! Today we are going to talk about the benefits and harms of onions. In the video you can also learn about how much onions can be eaten without harm to health and about the separate benefits of onions for the body of women and men. So please watch the video until the end and do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Enjoy watching! In today's world, almost everyone is trying to maintain a healthy lifestyle and eat right. In this case, he commits a number of mistakes by eating different fruits and vegetables, without thinking about the fact that in addition to benefits they can cause harm. One striking example of such a product on the one hand is very useful, but on the other hand harmful is an onion. Of course, if you compare, the benefits from it are many times more than harms. Nevertheless, there is a whole list of diseases in which it is forbidden to eat onions. The useful qualities of onions can be explained by their high content of vitamins and trace elements. In all honesty, these are iron, sulfur, fluorine, calcium, and flavonoids. All these components make onions a useful product. In Russia, onions were introduced from Southwest Asia. Already more than 6,000 years ago, people knew about this vegetable. In ancient Greece, onions were used as medicine, and in Rome, the wars used it daily, as it was believed that it gives strength and courage. Olympus athletes gave themselves strength and energy to train with onions. In today's world, onions are not used as often for this purpose. However, they are a frequent guest in every home. Without onions, it is impossible to prepare a huge number of dishes. It is possible to use it as a medicine in the field of medicine and even beauty. Next, we will take a closer look at the useful and not only properties of onions. So let's move on to the beneficial properties of onions. Maintaining heart and vascular health. This fellow has a number of positive properties for the heart and blood vessels. It contains in its composition antioxidants that inhibit inflammation in the intestinal wall. It also prevents the formation of atherosclerosis by reducing the level of bad cholesterol and reduces blood pressure. According to the latest data, it was found that the daily consumption of 45 grams of onions reliably reduces bad cholesterol and 3 glycerides. Thanks to the inhibition of inflammatory processes in the blood vessels of the intestinal wall, its damage is prevented and the risk of thrombosis is reduced. Thanks to such positive properties of this plant, the risk of serious cardiovascular accidents is prevented. In particular, we are talking about stroke, heart attack, and pulmonary embolism. Researchers from Germany have found that regular daily consumption of this miracle vegetable in the diet naturally reduces blood pressure by up to 7%. You can consume onions as a preventive measure against arterial hypertension. But remember that the plant alone will not be enough. Be sure to take the medication therapy your doctor prescribes. Mushroom, cold and runny nose. Prescription from childhood. Inhaling finely chopped onions. This is a very effective and proven remedy for years. The effect goes to the upper respiratory tract, where the most concentrated number of cold viruses and bacteria. For the greatest effect, it is recommended to use fresh onions and inhale one at a time with a cake and tonic for at least 20 minutes. Repeat this procedure several times a day, and it is better to use this method as a prevention or in the first days of a cold. Kidney diseases. When kidney disease, onion decoction is a good help. This remedy is used in the complex treatment of pyelonephritis, cystitis, urethritis. The recipe is simple. You need 3 teaspoons of onion husks. Pour boiling water for about 400 milliliters and boil for 1 minute. Then let stand for 30 minutes, strain, and you can use 3 to 4 times a day for 15 ml. Sore throat. A good therapeutic combination against colds and sore throats is the juice of onions together with honey, mixed in equal proportions. Use 5 milliliters 4 times a day. Such a remedy is excellent for soothing the throat, removing inflammation, and having an antimicrobial effect. Another way to use this remedy is 1 tablespoon 3 times a day for head problems. Cramps. Decoction of onion husks comes to the rescue when you need to remove cramps in the legs. Pour in boiling water 1 teaspoon of crushed onion husks. Allow to infuse for 10 to 15 minutes. Strain and drink before bedtime. Nail fungus. Effective remedy for lesions of the nails. Fungus daily baths in a strong decoction of onion husks. The duration of the procedure is at least 30 minutes. Baked onions for coughs. Good effective remedies for bronchitis. It can be taken even by people with inflammatory diseases of the stomach. Fill a wine bottle with chopped onions, close the cork, coat the top with dough and place in the oven until a ruddy crust forms. Then you can turn off the heat and allow to cool. Remove the dough and use the made remedy 2 tablespoons 4 times a day after meals, preventing the development of cancer. People who use onions in their diet every day are much less likely to have cancer, in particular stomach and colon cancer. American scientists found that eating this vegetable reduces the risk of stomach cancer by 22% and the risk of colorectal cancer by 15%. The useful properties of onions in the field of oncology are due to the micronutrients and antioxidants they contain. Onions are a prophylactic in the emergence of malignant tumors, reducing blood glucose levels. Scientists have found that the daily consumption in the diet of 100 grams of the miracle vegetable reliably reduces blood glucose levels by 1 to 2 mol per liter for 4 hours. Such a sugar-reducing effect allows the use of onions as a prophylactic for diabetes. Scientists have confirmed the same effect in experiments on animals. The plant is able to reduce not only sugar in the body, but also fat deposits, as obesity is a risk factor for the development of type 2 diabetes. The effect is due to the high content of quercetin and sulfur in onions. Use onions as a hypoglycemic remedy. Bone strengthening. Scientists in China have proven that daily consumption of 100 ml of onion juice increases bone mineral density. This effect is especially noticeable in women with an increased risk of osteoporosis over the age of 50 during the post-menopause period. American scientists have proven that even a small daily use of the plant reliably increases bone mineral density by 5%. The above positive properties of onions help prevent osteoporosis and reduce the risk of pathological fractures. It has been found that even with irregular consumption of onions, the risk of hip-neck fracture is reduced by 20%. The miracle vegetable increases bone mineral density and prevents the development of pathological fractures. Benefits for men's health. Onions are very useful for men's health. He is able to restore reproductive function in men and helps to get rid of problems with infertility or low sperm activity. It is necessary to understand that infertility cannot be cured by onions alone, but its use as a complex therapy will be very useful. Also, onions are effective as an additional means in the treatment of adenoma prostate, a very common disease in men after 40 years. Consume in your diet this vegetable every day, and it will not only free the body from harmful substances, but also strengthen the walls of blood vessels, making them more elastic. Before going to bed, eat a small piece of onion, and you will absolutely forget about frequent and even painful urination. In a month, all problems with the prostate gland will be gone. Benefits for women's health. Miracle vegetable is useful for women no less than for men. Due to the high content of vitamin B group, especially folic acid, it is able to maintain the hormonal background of a woman in the norm. Eating onions every day, you provide yourself with the prevention of breast cancer, a good metabolism, proper operation of the gastrointestinal tract, getting rid of pain during menstruation, increasing libido, a healthy reproductive system. Onions, due to their high content of vitamin C, can even help in rejuvenating the skin, restoring hair and nails. This effect is achieved by stimulating the production of collagen with the female body. Possible harm and contraindication. Despite the fact that onions are a whole system of useful substances and vitamins, you cannot ignore the fact that some people have certain contraindications to its use. Also, it has certain undesirable effects, bad breath. Almost always after you eat onions, there is this side effect in the form of odor. Neutralize it by eating parsley leaves or walnuts after onions. Disorder of the gastrointestinal tract organs. As a rule, this side effect develops only with excessive eating onions or in people with chronic gastritis, pancreatitis. Provokes arrhythmias. In people who have a disease of the cardiovascular system, such as chronic heart failure or coronary heart disease, it is recommended to limit the intake of onions. The vegetable tones the blood vessels, so in people with heart disease can provoke an irregular heart rhythm. To summarize, it is worth limiting the consumption of onions in the following cases. In the presence of chronic diseases of the gastrointestinal tract, especially in the period of exacerbation. Such diseases include gastritis, pancreatitis, peptic ulcer, and gastroesophageal reflux disease. It is contraindicated for people with diseases of the cardiovascular system. Onions are good for the heart and blood vessels only as a preventive measure, chronic and heart failure. The tendency to irregular heart rhythm is necessary to pay attention to the use of onions during pregnancy. As we mentioned above, the vegetable contains a considerable amount of folic acid, which is essential for the good maturation of the fetus. Vitamin B9 is involved in the formation of the neural tube of the fetus, so its insufficient intake with food can lead to malformations of both cardiovascular and nervous system. Vitamin C, which is also rich in the plant, helps to increase the baby's immunity. Pregnant women are advised to consume half a bowl a day. How much can be used without harm to human health? Any product is good when used in moderation. An excess, exactly like a deficit, has no positive effect. The immediate benefit of this vegetable is that eating just 150 grams of onions, you will get the daily allowance of vitamins A, C, and essential electrolytes. In particular, potassium, selenium, magnesium, calcium, and phosphorus. The list of nutrients is not small, and all these micronutrients are necessary for maintaining a healthy cardiovascular system and bones. Always remember that overconsumption of the plant can be detrimental. Don't forget to properly store the vegetable so that it is always fresh and juicy. That's the end of the video. If the video was useful, please share it with family and friends. I would also appreciate it if you like it, subscribe to the channel, and click on the bell. This has been the Human Body Channel with you. See you again soon.